プッシュスタート
Welcome to another episode of To Be Continued. It's your boy, C-Ham. And of course, you can't spell champion without it. And you already know I got my folks with me.
It's the man Devil Trigger. I ask you no more childish games from kindergarten to the mat to like a Bible verse from the heavens. Ask my man Matthew. Let's get it.
Yeah, Devil Trigger. Who else we got with us?
Oso, a.k.a. O to the Soul, a.k.a. General Cornrow Wallace.
Let's get it, General.
And of course, we have an amazing guest on the other side of the camera with us. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself.
My name is Matthew Pike. I go by Matthew Pike. Even on my PSN network, it's Matthew Pike.
Yeah.
So,
I love the consistency right there. That's amazing.
Who has the top consistency? Matthew.
Right. So there's right. So oso, is that bear in Spanish? Is that where that comes from? Oh, yeah.
Oh man!
I feel like this is our first guest that knew that.
Yeah, most people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that shirt is what?
We gotta send him a shirt for being the first person.
Yeah, we gotta send you one now.
No, seriously, like we've done a lot of had a lot of guests and we've done a lot of Skype calls and Zoom and things like that. And I think you are the first guest we've ever had that knew the meaning behind his clothing line.
Exactly.
And his nickname. It was crazy.
I would rep that shirt so fucking hard. So hard.
Man, thank you.
What size you wear, bro?
Hard. Right now I'm a comfortable medium.
That's perfect.
We gonna give him a lemon.
Yeah, we gonna
large. He said comfortable.
You know, because sometimes you have those football Sundays and you gotta get big.
And the winter is coming.
I try to stay away from the schmediums, but you know, sometimes that always doesn't work out to your advantage. You know, because there's still a couple things I got to work out now that the gym's back open. But I think a medium would be fine.
Yeah,
we're definitely
gonna make sure we get that to you.
Yeah, I love it. Great,
well,
I dig it.
We'll roll right into it. Well, go ahead and let the folks know what you do, Matt. We see you in your lovely ambiance of your studio, just like we are. So go ahead and tell the folks what you're into.
So I started in the music business, if you want to say it like monetarily wise. I got paid for my first gig when I was 14, and at that time, I played drums.
Nice.
I played drums for a long time. I played drums in school for the marching band, the jazz band, wind ensemble.
Of course.
So that was my first love, but I play a multitude of instruments. And as you can tell, I have my studio behind me, and I'll try to sum up what happened and what you can see on this wall here.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the back track listings of CDs.
I love it.
So basically, when I was stationed in Japan, I was in the Marine Corps at the time. When I was stationed in Japan, you know, he had those CD books, right?
Yep.
So I had CD books, and I had the jackets on top of the CDs, you know, so you could pull out, list, whatever, you know.
Right.
And somebody swiped all of my CD books from my barracks room.
Come on.
Oh man.
Bro.
So I basically had to rebuy everything. And some of that stuff was rare shit that
you're not gonna find.
Search at Media Play in the import section.
Oh, Media Play, God.
Yeah,
my heart
be the rarest part of anything.
He touched my heart when he said Media Play.
Media Play.
Yeah, word.
Dude, I had a date at Media Play. That's how ballin' Media Play was.
Media Play?
You're one of us.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
That's some sorcery right there.
I love that.
Yo, man, you trying to meet up at Media Play?
Media Play.
Right next to Arby's.
Any girl that wants to meet me at Media Play, marry her, put a ring on her right now.
Word. Right, you know, right next to the Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You gotta act
I'll
like
buy you. Let's go to the youth section, girl. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get the little CDs.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
So what happened was, after all that got stolen, of course, I had to slowly build up my catalog again.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I could not, you know, obtain some of those real rare CDs that I got.
Right.
So whilst I was cleaning out my mom's attic, I found this huge box full of Jewel CD cases with the backs, but that's it.
Just the backs.
So, right. And so I'm like, what am I going to do with it? These are memories. I don't want to throw all this out.
Yeah.
Like you're talking from when I was like 14 years old, walking in Media Play with my friends. all the way up to, buying CDs from BMG Music Catalog and,
Dude.
all this stuff. And so I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this. And while I was building the studio, because this just finished like last week, the studio. So I was, what am I going to do? I want to paint it. That's boring. Like I'm going to paint my walls in here.
Everyone does that.
Right. And I thought to myself, I remember a studio that had like a whole bunch of band stickers covering the whole walls. Doug White's studio, Watchman Studios.
Yeah.
Little plug there for you, Doug. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to buy some adhesive.
Oh, he's got it nearby. I love it. Yeah.
Buy some adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these to the wall. And it took forever because there's no gaps in between. Like I literally had to.
You can tell it's been meticulously done.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the whole entire wall. So like all the other stuff, like I put up all these shelves and everything, so it covers it. So I had to pretty much make myself feel okay with covering it with things. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's all right, bro. You're gonna make music in here. That'll just be the back ambiance of everything.
I love it.
And then up there is it's a Les Paul copy, but it has 4 signatures of some of my favorite guitarists of all time. So I'm gonna keep adding to that,
right?
That collage of wicked guitar players. So basically, I put all of this in my studio, and a lot of the music that's on here I don't even listen to anymore. But that's not the point, though, is it? The point is I literally have my music roots in my studio right now. Yeah. Like literally in my
like
studio.
your journey right there on the wall.
Yep. I have everything from Pantera to Deftones to Notorious B.I.G. to Method Man to Cal is over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like
he definitely one of us. He said Deftones, Method Man. He said everything.
I even have, I think Redman, Method Man Blackout is up here somewhere.
Oh man, see, you know what?
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah,
you got a nice little ambiance going in there, man.
That's what I mean.
Music
there.
So there's also, I'll show you around a little more here.
Yeah,
go ahead, give us the grand tour.
So here's it's over on this wall.
Before you do that, I have a quick business question. How many guitars do you have?
How many guitars do I own?
Yes, and are you going to sell one?
First and foremost, whenever someone backs away from a question like that, I mean they have a ton.
Yeah.
well, I had a lot, and by a lot I mean like a lot, like 20. And then I realized that these guitars aren't giving the positive reinforcement that they deserve. And so I let go of a lot of them, sold them, a bunch of them. But now if I buy a guitar, I really have to put my mind in a certain idea of, if I buy this, am I going to play it? Am I going to get use out of it? Because
I definitely want to buy one.
He's been talking about it for a while. He's been talking about wanting to play guitar for a while.
The electric guitar. I need it.
So for my advice to you, Caddy, is go ahead and start with an acoustic first.
I got
start with Oh, you do?
I do. I don't like it. I don't feel it.
Well, what you probably need to do is get it set up professionally, and I can send Christian contact of the guy that does phenomenal work in this area.
Okay.
So he'll set it up professionally so that it'll be easy to play. It'll sound good, and because a lot of times when beginners start playing on an acoustic guitar, the action is real high, so you got to press down real hard, like an eagle claw.
Yeah.
When you shouldn't have to do that. Yes, you're going to have to put a little more pressure than an electric. However, it shouldn't be, so hindering that you're not enjoying what you're doing. So, but I highly suggest starting an acoustic. If you have one, great. Like I said, I'll pass off that contact info. Get your guitar set up. But if you want to buy an electric guitar and you're really like, I guess you could say motivated to do it.
Destiny.
So
no, I'm for real. It will complete.
Seriously, he's been talking about this for a while.
No, it'll complete me.
I suggest going ahead and buying a Mexican Fender Stratocaster, That's what I suggest.
Man, that sounds nice.
Right, go ahead and write that down. Go ahead and write that down.
From Mexico? From Mexico? What?
Because the Mexican Stratocasters are a good price range, but they're not the bottom of the barrel like a Fender Squier. You can do a Fender Squier, but if you want to get something halfway decent, and also Stratocasters always look good with miles on them.
Yeah.
You know that
it looks beautiful.
That wear and tear, it looks great, and they will still sound great. So I would say a Mexican MIM, made in Mexico, because if you look it up on eBay, that's what you need to put, MIM Fender Strat, and you can get good ones used off of eBay or Guitar Center, for like $300. You know,
you're getting all the good tidbits.
I'm looking right now. Yeah, it's going down.
Shout out to Matt for giving us all the good tidbits.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We could talk about that later. We could talk about it because I was like, oh yeah.
No, that's what this is for. Like, this is the open forum for that.
Oh, what's that same old saying? Get in where you fit in. Well, you're getting in because you're trying to fit in where your place. So the perfect time to ask, right? Perfect time to ask.
Yeah, the ambiance that you're in is perfect for people like us, because that's what we're into. This is what we love. Yeah. We live and breathe music. It's funny, like I tell people all the time that podcasting was not something I planned. I just already knew how to engineer from being an engineer from the music side, and it just translated to podcasting. So it's just like I accidentally already knew how to do this shit.
The podcasting right now is the perfect time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect time to reach out to everybody because we're all in the same position.
Right.
Which is pretty much bent over, but
truth be told.
So I'll bring you out to the music room.
Oh yeah.
It's not that bright, but I'm gonna go
That's
ahead
okay.
and open up the shades here.
This is what I like.
Nice.
I think if you've posted this on social media, I think I saw a little bit of this.
Yeah, I post a little bit here and there.
They will tell you I'm a habitual social media stalker. Whenever we're gonna have people on our show, I stalk their social media.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it so you can see. So here's some of the guitars that you're curious. This is one of my favorites right here. This is my Paisley Telecaster.
Oh, beautiful.
I like it.
So I just took the strings off, and then I'm a huge Ibanez guy, which.
Ooh, that's big sexy right there.
Ooh.
That's my lady right there.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that's nice too. What is that, like a midnight blue, or is it a black?
It's like a midnight blue.
Okay,
looks
and
nice.
This one right here is a 7-string.
Ooh,
that's big taker.
I like that way.
Take.
Oh, that's a piece to the competition right there.
So here's my amp setup, which I'm going to change this out. Here's my Gibson Les Paul.
Yeah.
I see it has its own little situation. That's the main one you use usually?
No, it's just the one that I was using last.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so here's my drum kit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can tell, but it's see-through red.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Like some Air Force Ones.
Right. And here's my bass rig right here.
I like that.
So I played bass for this one female. Her name is Kate Malin, and she won the Taste of Country contest the year before last. And so we played the Taste of Country, Jam at the Valley, played at the UB Performing Arts Center, and all this stuff like that. And so when I was in LA for the ASCAP Expo, I'm a huge fan.
Oh, you got to.
So I wore this hat pretty much every single show. And then here's my setup. Well, here's my MIDI controller, but here's my vinyl setup. That's actually my Kevlar from when I was in the Corps.
Nice.
So
I love the ambiance in there. It tells a great story.
I like the window, and then
yeah.
Yeah, this is
my manly corner.
This is actually my sliding glass door out to my backyard. But so yeah, then we're
gonna have to come pay you a visit and do a live jam session.
Yeah, we gotta make some music or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, this is it, man. This is why I did it. I mean,
I love it.
I put that window in and soundproofed it in there. So basically, this is where I live.
I can
I'm
attest to that. I can attest to that.
I live down here. This is pretty much, but this just got finished, and so I'll be finishing up my EP. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I got to do it. I'll be finishing up my EP, and it'll be out by late fall this year.
We're gonna have to do some press for that for you on our website. Give you some,
I would
some extra
appreciate
plugs.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is about that EP, I lived on 18th Street between Ferry and Niagara.
Very nice, very familiar area.
Word.
And it's basically walking to a pizza oven every other day. But
The grill.
yeah, you go into Andy's right there on the corner of 19th. But
Deep in the hood.
Basically, what Matt is telling you, he knows his roots, man. He's got his roots.
Yeah, and so when I lived there, I had my own studio as well, but it was just 2 bedrooms, but it was a 4-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And so, and this is in 2009, 2010 timeframe. And so I recorded pre-production for this EP, 5 songs. 3 songs are straight up rock and roll. And then 2 other songs are like experimental synth wave, synth pop kind of stuff. Because I grew up pretty much in the 80s too. So a lot of that stuff is all lingering around in there.
Huge influence.
And, right, huge. And so I recorded this stuff. I was super excited to finish it. And then back then, my external hard drive was 150 gig, and it was like this big. And it shit the bed. All of that stuff gone. Did I back up? Of course not. I didn't back up. So I thought it was gone forever. I was so upset, like all that work, because that was just the only material on there. There was hundreds of hours of just me just recording stuff
around in the studio.
Right, because it was available. I could just and plus that was when the recession hit. Daddy was just at home all goddamn day fucking recording shit because I had that kind of time.
Makes sense.
So when I lost all that, man, it was heartbreaking. And so again, while I was cleaning out my mom's attic, I found this tower, computer tower, sitting way off in the corner to where like you would have to walk on the studs so your feet didn't go through the ceiling from below you.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell did this get? I thought I threw this out. What the hell is this? So of course I take it home and I boot it up, and on the front, you know, on the desktop it says Nuendo Sessions. Are you kidding me? So I opened up the folder, and it was half of everything that was on that external hard drive. And then I realized that it triggered a memory of when I thought my external shit the bed, and I dropped everything on that hard drive on the computer. But it turns out it didn't. It was just some sort of pathway, you know, error or whatever.
Computer stuff.
So, right. So the best part is the stuff for the EP was on there.
Amazing.
And so,
wow.
Right. And you're talking like almost 10 years later.
You can't make that shit up.
So I don't know how big you guys are on sci-fi movies.
Huge.
Yeah.
So do you remember the Space Odyssey 2001?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Standing
And then, right. And then they had the Space Odyssey, the second one that was in 2010. So I finished this stuff, the pre-production in 2010. So now it's 10 years later. So what I'm calling the record is 2010 Lost in Spaces. Because I lost that stuff in space somewhere. So that's what the record's called, the EP. And basically, though, I have to the 2 synthwave experimental tunes are done. But I have to re-record everything for the rock tunes because the technology and the sound quality from back then isn't up to par with what is going on now.
Everything has advanced crazy.
Right. So unfortunately, I can't keep the integrity of those recordings. However, it's going to be those songs as, you know,
repurposed, basically.
Right. Well, as respectedly as I can to keep these songs as original to the original idea as possible. But they're just straight up rock tunes. There's no shelf life on them, so it's not like you'll hear it and be like, oh, well, this is like, you know, the late 2000s. No, it's not like that. It's something that just it keeps on going. So that's why I'm still going to release it, because if I felt like it was dated, I might have a second thought about it.
Understandable. I like that. And the spaces too, it also can be a little side meaning to yourself, because you had to get it from the attic and avoid walking through those spaces to get to that hard drive.
Yeah. Tell you what, and that tower is sitting right down here.
See, right where it belongs.
Right, I still have it. Not like I'm going to use it, but I feel like
memories.
it's some sort of good luck, chakra, whatever you want to call it. So I'm keeping it.
I could totally understand that.
A testament to the universe.
Right, and plus it's a part of my studio history, so it's just going to stay in here. Maybe I'll get some decals and put them on there, or spray paint some stencils or whatever.
Great conversation piece too, if you want to just tell a story about how I thought I lost my hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When you're getting interviewed about how well your album does, and so, let me tell you a story about it, man.
And if that was ever the case, I would say, if you want to hear about it, go and check out my boy Christian's his podcast.
For sure. We'll put you on there. We'll put you on the website. Hey, man.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely put you on.
Anyone we believe in, we love to shove them in your face.
And then while I'm on the interview, I'll be wearing my Oso gear.
Yeah.
Wearing my Oso gears. So,
so something you brought up earlier, if you don't mind, I'm a little bit more curious about, is your ties to the military. I want to know a little bit more about that, because one of my closest friends is in the Army. He just came back from doing a tour in Korea. This is actually his last year. In March, he'll be done. 15 years in. So
he's not going to do the full 20 and get the retirement.
Nah, he just wants to do the 15, and he's about to have his first kid. So he's really focused on doing the family thing and moving out of the area where he lives in. So I definitely understand his mind frame with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Once the children are brought into the picture, nothing else matters.
Right.
I hate to sound cliche, but once I had my daughter,
it's the truth.
I didn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that.
It's the truth.
Yeah. And I just had my daughter before this, and God has blessed me this year more than anything in my entire life. And her being able to be in this house that I bought myself is huge. She has her own room. I bought a stencil that sticks, it stuck to the door that said, my daughter's name is Frankie. And so it's Frankie's bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that she comes in there, she sees it like,
it's hers.
This is my room. And every time she's here, I'm like, she's like, Daddy, I love your house. I'm like, it's your house too, baby. This is your house too. But this girl already sings in key. She just turned 4. Already sings in key.
Oh, man.
And taps her foot on time to the BPMs. Like, blows my mind. But
that sounds like crazy.
Like my whole day is surrounded by music. I always have music on. It's a huge part of my personality and how I view things, especially like if I'm talking to somebody for the first time, like you all, I notice your rhythms of speech. Like I notice little things like that, because that's how music is for me.
It's like Pharrell described when he says he sees sounds, and he's in like vivid colors, and that's the way he interacts with everyone. Everyone's a certain sound that has a color. And that's how he acknowledges each person.
Like when I was in the Marine Corps, I could tell people by their voices, just little blurps, and also I could tell by their walk because of their gait. And how and their rhythm when they walk, and also because we were pretty much constantly marching.
Right.
That's a part of discipline, constantly marching. And so when I was a sergeant, before I got out, I used to run the daily runs. So my platoon, there's about 20 of them, and we'd be singing our cadences. Like there's one about the Marine Corps, and it goes, back in 1775. And then the rest of the guys would say Marine Corps, or, Marines, because there's women. My Marine Corps came alive, Marine Corps. So then I'm like, do I always have to do this shit?
They're like,
So-
yeah, you got the powerful voice, man. Of course.
So no. My point was, do I have to use these old songs? So
Oh,
my
you do
boy,
remixes.
my boy reminded me the other day via Facebook. He's like, "Remember you used to do James Brown?" and so I would do I Feel Good. And so I would have them do like the horn lines. They're like, I feel good. And they would go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
That's dope.
I knew that I would now. I
Yeah.
feel good. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
You know, so good.
I can imagine.
Bop, bop.
I can imagine how much more exponentially that boosted the morale in comparison to just like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because they would, when I first started doing it, they couldn't believe it. Like, you know, and I would do, I can't remember the group's name, but there she was, just walking down the street singing. They would do that.
I don't know who sang that.
She looks good. She looks good. She looks good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's creative. I like that. You're really getting your creative juices flowing, just using.
Yeah. You know, but it would
motivated.
boost morale. You know,
Get the guys motivated.
Like, oh. And they'd be like, what? Like, yeah,
Change their like energy. I feel that.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
dope.
I like that.
That's what Shaggy was in the Marine Corps, and that's when that's where he got his voice from, was calling cadence.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in the first Gulf War in the early '90s.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I had no clue.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
so shout out to a fellow Marine who loved to sing cadence while he was with his Marines. But that was you know, something that was I was lucky, you know, to be able to have the experiences I had while I was in the Marine Corps, good or bad, because I'm still alive.
Right.
So,
Amazing
there
to
it is.
hear.
You know, and I can feel for your friend. You know, once you're having a kid, like, do you want to worry about getting deployed and then not being with your family for years sometimes, depending on what's going on in the world?
Yeah, not to mention the fact that he already lives on the other side of the United States and all his family lives on the East Coast. So, like, he just really wants to get closer to the East Coast and be more with his family and just settle down in a place, you know, that he feels comfortable raising his firstborn. I get it.
Right. And so, as far as we all know, we only live once.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't.
I love that you said, as far as we all know.
Right. You know, and we can't.
Yeah.
There's only one first. You can't go back. You know, there's only one first. So if you miss that, there is no replay. There is no reset, no rewind. So if you want to live a life of regret, you know, I could go on and go on about that, but that was the whole thing about what's going on now is, you know, I have these opportunities to work from home, and so I'm working from home, and then doing this at the same time. Like, there's no way I'd be able to do this. But the coronavirus was the best thing that happened to me.
Same.
You know, bought a new house, got a new car, got a new studio, like all this stuff.
Same thing for us, if like, especially I would say business wise, because we were podcasting prior to the coronavirus, but we were on another network. Now it's our own network that we started with our own shows that we coordinate, and, you know, everything is run by us. It's our own thing. It's our own situation at our own time.
Yeah, it's like FUBU, man. For us, by us. Come on now. You guys are
true.
doing it.
And we got other podcasters too. They help us too, you know. They
Yep.
assist us with their own energy, you know. It's a universal design.
That's
you know?
great. No, that's awesome, because, you know, the whole idea is, you know, creative freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and that was going back again, talking about Neo and how he just said, screw it, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yep.
And I'm going to put out a pop record because this is what I'm hearing up here.
Mm-hmm.
And why
the best thing ever for him.
Right. Well, why restrict these creative juices, this flow? Because I'm getting people in my ears saying, no, you're going to wreck your career.
Dude.
So,
You never know. My dad would always preach to me, son, you got to use that buckshot approach. You got to just shoot at things until something sticks. Like, you know,
right. That's true. You know, because you might not get something, but also there's going to be collateral damage. But that could also be in something else too. You know, you never know. Like a girl has a fine ass friend, and maybe she's not into you anymore, but her friend's looking at you. So that's collateral damage, right?
Collateral damage. Someone's getting hit by these shots.
Right.
Someone hit with a Hadouken.
Somebody
Yeah, right.
shots.
Hadouken, right? Hadouken.
Everyone, the whole combo.
I'm curious.
The whole combo.
How much into video games are you?
Well, I guess
on a scale of 1 to 10.
Maybe 6.5.
I like that.
I like that.
6.5.
Work with that.
Where I would say I'm a part-time gamer, you know.
That's fine.
A part-time lover.
We like to refer to them as casual gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I also probably spend more money than a casual gamer does, though.
You might
niche game.
Yeah.
A niche game that you like to specifically play.
I like that.
Like it's just
so
a game that
so if there's a certain sort of platform that I focus on, it would probably be first-person shooters, because I grew up playing Doom on the computer, and I grew up playing what the hell was that game? Heretic and Duke Nukem 3D.
Duke Nukem. Hell yeah.
You know, rip off your head and shoot down your neck. You know, that guy was hilarious for a teenager. Right. I'm all out of gum. So I have 3 bedrooms in this house. One's mine, one's my daughter's, and the third room is going to be my 80s room.
Mm.
And so I've been building that room because I'm done with this now. I got to have work on another project.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bought an original Nintendo and a grip of games.
Mm.
And then tomorrow I'm going to go get like this huge tube TV and this stand and stuff that looks totally 80s. And I already bought.
Have to get you in touch with one of my buddies that builds arcade cabinets too. At a very reasonable price.
Yeah, there's also the Nintendo I bought was the top loader.
Ooh. Okay.
I did not want the cube because there's always issues, man, and I'm not dealing with it.
Mm.
Okay, I'm not staying true to the 80s vibe, but they ain't gonna fucking see it's gonna be in the cabinet.
And the top loader is cooler anyway.
Right, but the cool thing is there's all these new mods and stuff for these top loaders, so I'm gonna get into that too.
Like some Raspberry Pi. You heard of that? Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's I think you can dump a bunch of
I have
ROMs
like 10,000 ROMs on there on mine.
Yeah, but see, that's just it. I don't have that kind of time to play games, though.
I hardly ever use my Raspberry Pi. I'll go ahead and admit it right now. It's very situational. It's like if we have a bunch of people that are coming over and they're into retro games or something like that, or I'm going somewhere, then I'll be like, here you go.
I think our game versatility.
Same ideals, man. Same ideals. A lot of the games that I have for the Nintendo are all 2-player based.
Yeah.
So I got some friends over, and and hey, I even played Wheel of Fortune with this broad the other night on.
Me?
You know what I'm saying? Because it's still relevant.
It's fun. It's still fun.
Yeah.
Like we talk about it all the time. One thing that's lost from the current landscape of video gaming is on the couch co-op situation. Everything is online.
Biggest gripe, man. My biggest gripe, because you remember Time Splitters. Come on, like that's
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Oh yeah,
man,
bro.
Yeah, slaps only. You know what I mean?
No golden gun.
So many fights have ensued amongst our family over GoldenEye. Like, come on.
Yep. Oh yeah, I remember.
I'm pulling out the laser.
Oh yeah. That's just it. Like, I that's why I still love Diablo. Diablo 3 is, that's still a couch co-op. Love that game.
I love just that feeling of, hanging out with your homies or your family or whatever the case may be, and like that friendly rivalry. It gives you that feeling of, like, to me, I compare it to like when you play board games. When you play board games with the family, that same kind of vibe is just virtual. So it's like
always get in on some cranium.
Turtles.
Yeah,
man.
You're never gonna get that experience without like that person being beside you.
Right. And so my baby mama loved Diablo 3. And she was good.
That's fire.
She was good. So we would sit there and I'd be doing something and she would know exactly what to do. And then that moment where you can look over and be like, all right.
Hold on, baby.
So that's the whole point. Right. So that's the whole thing. Like, those moments are absent. because everybody is
online.
Just right, and so into their own what do you call it?
Zone.
Well, right, they're in their own
world, universe,
bubble.
Right. Well, they have their own.
NBA.
They have their own focus. They have their own idea of what they want to do. They're not open to doing what other people want. They're just, this is my mission. This is what I want to do. I'm like, man, come on. Because and a lot of those games are military-based games, and I tell you what, you don't ever do shit by yourself in the fucking military. And if you do, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I hate when people be like, why are you camping? Because it's the art of war. I'm not even.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. How do you think you really hunt? There's two styles. There's two styles of hunting. There's camping, and then there's tracking. I do both.
Yeah.
I do both. You've seen my deer heads. I'm missing one. I actually have a 10-point that's not up. But the 8-point there, like, I corralled that motherfucker. Like, I found his tracks, went low, saw him, knew which way he was headed because of the tracks that are on that hill, went all the way around while he was still moving, and he basically came to me.
Because that's how you got to do it. You
know what I mean?
Anything. It's the nature. It's the 300.
Yeah. Well, he's got to feel like he's just on his daily routine.
He don't even got to notice you. You just got to be like real.
And that's why when you go in the woods, you have to stink. You can't be clean. Because
they can smell you. Or
they smell that smoke.
Air,
you hear them.
It's got to become one with nature.
You hear them. They're that loud because they're smelling you. And you're like, yep, they got my scent. I am not going to see that motherfucker now. So, that's just it. And you camp. That's the way to do it, because especially if you're in a high traffic path, he's going to come around the bend. Soon enough. I got these crosshairs on him. My
argument with stuff like that is always like, if we shouldn't be doing this, they would take it out of the game.
Sure. That's why, some people that camp right next to the shield too, so when it respawns, they get their shield back.
Kill you, collect your scavenger, you know what I'm saying, your remains. I'm moving to the next spot. Right to the corner. Moving. Right to the corner where I'm invisible. Two borders, you can't see me.
Right? Yeah.
Give me that. Well, I know where you finna go next. Okay, I'm just gonna trap you here.
Yep. There you go.
You play zombies?
I played it a little while ago. I do like Call of Duty. I don't dig on that kind of gaming anymore. I like a storyline, getting into shit.
See, that's why I play the zombies, because it has an actual storyline.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The last game I played was Zero Horizon Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Is that what it is?
Game. Yes.
Holy
Aloy?
Shit.
What an amazing game.
Beast. And then when she went back to her old, I shouldn't spoil it for somebody, but that game, oh my God! And then
beautiful. And have you played Red Dead?
No.
My friend, when I tell you,
I heard it's awesome. I played the first one on PS2, and it was one of my favorite games on PS2.
If you love the original one, you're gonna love this one even more, because, first of all, in my opinion, on the current gen system, it is the most beautiful game that there is. Like, they spared no expense on every detail, to the point that, like, if you're hunting and you carry a carcass and you have blood on your clothes, you have to go in the water to get it off. And you actually see the blood coming off of your clothing in the water. Like, I was like, dude, that's a layer of detail you don't see often.
That begs the question of how many consultants did they contact, regarding the game and the realistic, factor of it all.
How in depth it was.
And Rockstar is always really good at that. They always take it. I always feel like they always take it to an extra step to make sure the detail of their game is very close to what reality is. Like, when they upconverted Grand Theft Auto, I love that they gave you the first person mode to play the storyline in, instead of playing in the traditional third person view. And with that, you see all the details of the guns, you see the details of the inside of the car, you see all those things you never had a viewpoint on before. And I was like, you know what? Rockstar is really onto some good shit here. I got to keep paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it always pays off to go that extra mile, especially when it comes to making things realistic, which also begs the question: are we not sick of reality yet? Then, like, is there so much reality in these games? We're like, oh, I would have done that too. Well,
I love those little offside games that are just so fucking childish that you look at me and you're like, why are you playing this? And I'm like, because, well, yeah, I do love my sports and I love how real it looks, but I am playing a game at the end of the day. Sometimes I just want to have fun and be goofy and whimsical and like see flying colors. And, I don't want to see what I see all day in reality. I love that you brought that up. It's something I think people don't really think about that.
No, and that also triggers a memory for me about Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Please give.
Do you remember when Rick and Morty when Morty played the game Stand? Do you remember that when they're at that one planet, and so basically he was immersed in some guy's life, and then
he's taking him off the grid.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, where he was like a carpet salesman or something like that.
And he dive off the shelf.
Yeah. Really, Morty, that's what you're doing? Like, oh man. And that's just it. Like, it was so reality based. He didn't realize he was in a game. He thought it was his life. And so, what does that satire tell you? That we've become so immersed in games, we can't see the difference, between reality and the gaming world and so on. And we could talk about that shit all day.
Well,
but
they say your higher self controls your actual being. You know how they say like you can connect with your higher self or your higher being or your higher conscious. They say like you are already predetermined for what you're going to do within the next realm from your higher self. You're just operating on this level because you choose it, like the Matrix, a cube inside a cube and shit like that,
Yeah, I've never heard that before. That's interesting.
I think it's real.
As soon as you said that, it reminded me of the Steve Winwood song, Higher Love. That's where my brain goes,
My brain goes to music too.
I was about to say we're very similar in that regard. I remember everything because of the song that played on it, or like the intro music or shit like that. I always reference things from that. Like one of my favorite things growing up was like theme songs to TV shows. I just would love to just fucking sing theme songs to TV shows all the time.
When one time my again baby mama Alex, someone was getting her down and she was sad about something, and she was taking a shower, and so I snuck into the bathroom and I put on the theme music on the MP3 player of Who's the Boss. And so, at the very end, brand new life, brand new life,
dude.
It's like, oh my God, you just made me feel so much better.
I needed it.
It's that comfort, because these shows were a time where all you knew was nothing. I mean, I still know nothing, but I know a lot of nothing. So the whole idea was to bring her into a good vibe, and then after that, of course, I binge watched the entire fucking show.
Of course. It forces you. It tickles your nostalgia bone. You're like, damn it, I gotta watch this now.
Now I gotta watch this. Good old Samantha turning out fine as hell. But and that's just it. Like, that's how music is for me too. That's great. I'm glad that I'm not the only one in the universe like that.
You ever think that one of your powers is to transmute energy? Because you do. You said that twice. I know the show rhythm too.
Some people have called me an empath.
Oh yeah, that's
because I feel deeply, and then I always try to. My one buddy, what the hell? He was in the Marine Corps too. Herb, older black gentleman I worked with while I was a
Herb Dean. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep. Herb.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
Yep, and he was in the Marine Corps too. Real badass. He used to grab.
Hell, he's named Herb. He's
nobody named Herb.
Definitely, I'm
from the old school,
right?
Or
he used to grab shit out of the oven. Grab shit out of the oven with his bare hands.
See, that's a different level of savagery right there. I don't want to do it.
My name is Herb. Take this hot plate.
And that's just it. Like he'd be like, man, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I'm not worried about it. You should be worried about it. Like, it's not my hand.
That's your hand skin.
Yeah.
That's your hand skin.
Basically, the Raikage from Naruto when his arm was on fire with the black Amaterasu. I don't know if you watched anime, but it's out. Listen, you would know what I was talking about exactly. Yeah. He rips his arm off.
I don't know. I've watched like, I want to say like the first season of Naruto, and I loved it though. But as that was going along, I was slowly drifting away from anime.
Yeah.
But I can always go back and watch the anime that I loved growing up. And one of my favorite animes of all time is Berserk. If not,
oh, with guts. That's a cool anime to like. I like that.
Like, oh my god, like the shit this dude went through.
That shit's still going on in the manga, bro.
Oh no, and I had a whole bunch of manga of it too, and I sold all of it because I'm not looking at
you're not following
anymore.
it.
Yeah.
You know, and I want somebody else to enjoy it. And this young thing, she bought it from me. And she's like, oh, me and my boyfriend are blah, blah. I'm like, well, good. At least I know somebody is going to appreciate this and get something out of it because it's just sitting in a box, not even on a shelf.
Right.
Sitting in a box. But Naruto I really liked it.
Character development is great on there.
Right. I really liked it. But of course, I would have to say my favorite anime of all time up to the Buu Saga. So when I was watching Dragon Ball Z, and I remember when Toonami played the Buu Saga when Goku and Vegeta were fighting, like the second time, I guess it would be, right? I was so distraught. I'm like, I'm not watching it. I don't want to see it. They shouldn't be fighting. What happened to Saiyaman? You know, So, but there was like, I was so obsessed with them. I bought like all of these rare Dragon Ball Z toys when I lived in Japan.
Oh,
man, those
like amazing. The switchable heads or like the stand-in ones. You have a bunch of
34 points for articulation.
I have a bunch.
These were before all that. It was called the Super Battle Collection by Bandai.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Did it have armor changes and stuff?
Only some of them did.
I had all of the. Listen, if it came from Japan, phased ID was the cheat code. It had all the accessories and all stuff. Listen, I'll tell you, I had all the model kits. Everything that go ahead now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the toys that I had, they were made in the 80s, right when those cartoons were new. So I don't think that they have that level of articulation
I had toys from the 80s too. I had a lot of
he's saying it wasn't that many points to articulation yet.
I know. And I can agree to that. I had like
but for what it was great. But they also had, like I said, some that, like I had there was 44 toys. I had 42 of the entire set.
Ooh, man.
Nice.
And so the only two I didn't have was I didn't have Boy Goku 3rd level, and I didn't have the Great Golden Monkey when Baby when Baby and Vegeta.
That's Golden Monkey Ozaru. That's
right. I didn't have that because it was huge, and it was like people wanted like hundreds of dollars for it. So I was like, I ain't gonna buy that. You know?
Yo, they had the ones. Listen, they had the ones where they used to all come in like, because I remember like super back in like. They had like these box set ones, and they had like the different characters. They had like the Ghost Kamikazes and the Super Boo Ghost Kamikazes.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, I'm like,
blow them out.
Yeah, and they had like a different set in each of them, and you flip them around, and you had to collect them all. I remember what you're talking about. It was before my time, but the toys.
That stuff wasn't in that collection. Like I said, there was only 44. So the only cool things they had that were different was like they had 00, and that was Goku, and they had the different heads of all the different Saiyans that you could put on. And then the other stuff was, just little stuff. They didn't have all the cool shit that they used to, but I ended up selling the entire collection last year. I sold it.
How much did you get? How much did you get for it?
$350.
Nice.
So not terrible. If I would have sold it piece by piece, I would have gotten probably 500 or more. But
did they ever have a Broly in that set?
they sure did.
Did his arms come off?
No.
Like his arms like came off like this or something like that?
No, but I can't. Well, let me rephrase. I never opened it.
Oh, yo, bro, you might be
shit.
talking about the exact toy. Yo,
I never opened them. I never opened them. I also had a different. I bought a tons of Vegeta shit because who is a young man didn't like Vegeta, you know?
Right?
Man, I like Trunks. You don't like Goku.
No, I love Trunks too. Like
Vegeta's my guy.
Vegeta,
He's the first person I ever identified with on that show.
I like Goku because he was just go ahead.
When Trunks went back to his own time and he fucked those motherfuckers up, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, oh shit, like
you deserve it, Trunks.
He was cool aesthetic wise too, like his
outfit. I always loved the way he dressed. He was always cool.
Yeah.
But Goku with my son.
He had that hair and shit.
Yeah. I like when he got all big and broad.
Oh yeah.
With the long hair.
Man, Goku always been my son.
Like
he always
steroids.
like, oh, you want to fight for the Earth?
Time chamber.
You want to fight for the Earth?
I call that the Brock Lesnar Trunks.
Right? I love though when the Trunks saga when he came back and everybody didn't know who he was. He was all mysterious and he beat the fuck out of Frieza.
Cleaning hat.
You remember when
bro, my eyes were like
burning slash with burning attack. Yep.
Remember when he took the planet buster that Frieza used to do? He took it and threw it.
Mm-hmm.
And then King Cold was like, "What is he?"
Supernova. Supernova.
That was oh my god, that was great.
I know.
I want to watch that exact episode now. When I
want them toys again, yo.
We gotta find them.
Have different versions of the toys where they had sparkly hair and then they had regular ones. Because I remember, I'm trying to.
So they had two different ones. They had the yellow, and then they came out later in the set. They started making it gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Well, they had the sparkly gold hair.
Well, I didn't see it. Like I said, I never took them out of the package, so I'm not sure how much they would really gleam. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, when we was kids, we didn't know what we had because I had a lot of 80s Transformers. That's how I know.
Yeah.
Like
I still have my wrestling collection from a kid.
I used to be into toys. Like I had a.
Oh yeah.
I had the Cobra Commander 80 set where he was like a fortress. I got it from the Salvation Army.
Oh man.
And the old Ninja Turtles.
Super come up.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's huge.
When you started like saying that, I used to get
it triggered you.
Yeah, I was like, yo, no, I know what you're talking about. I remember that they had the armor chain there. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
there was the one Vegeta character that I got as it was a flawed toy, and they ripped them from the shelves, but I bought them, and I bought two of them, and they were Vegeta with the Majin Buu stamp with black hair.
Oh.
And I had two of them, and I sold all that stuff, man. It's all gone. But I remember buying this, and I'm like, oh shit.
Do you have any more collectibles laying around your house?
Gotta buy them now.
Do you have any more collectibles laying around your house?
None of that stuff.
Batman related.
The only thing I have left are the comic books. And I just
Batman.
Yep.
I just asked
got over there?
Batman. I mean,
I had this
talking to the right man right there.
I had this girl over the other night, and so I was like, we were talking about shit, and she's kind of into it. And she's got a whole bunch of tats and green hair and shit. And so I was like, I got some comic books, girl, if you want to check them out, you know. And so
he sound like the guy girl from Super Jail.
Yo! I know what you're talking about. Like, you never let me have any free time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have Spawn 1 through 50.
Oh, you're a goon. You're a god. You're a god.
He's one of us.
He only made at least 90. He only made a certain amount of those too.
Yeah, and then I have the Batman Spawn crossover comics.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, don't want to buy this over your
My
house.
friend Matt, we're gonna have to have a.
We gotta take interview or something.
And these are all in slips with cardboard backings.
Oh
and I have what do you call it, right? comic book when Batman got his back broken by Bane.
Yeah, Bane.
Oh yeah.
And I have the
spirit or your body.
I have the comic, like, it was like three issues after, where the new suit with the claws and shit, where he almost looked like that Azrael Batman, but different.
I thought it was Azrael.
No, that's a different one. This
He
one's
took over.
different. It was just his new suit.
Look.
Because Azrael had red in his suit, and this one doesn't. It's just blue and like
yellow, right? That's Azrael. Azrael had that because he took over as Batman when his back was broken.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Right?
There's another part though where he has that suit before Azrael gets to use it.
Oh, for real?
Right.
That's already in production before Azrael gets to use it. A lot of people had that suit didn't come until Azrael.
That was like.
Yeah.
I remember reading about this in an article when I was looking up some stuff on Azrael, and I was like, "Holy shit! I never even knew that." Like, I thought that was the first time that suit ever appeared.
Yeah, no, and that's a funny thing is I never really collected a lot of Batman, but those issues, I was like, I might want to buy these.
Those are some interesting storylines. I don't blame you. I understand. Yeah, Batman. That's me. That's my life right there. That's my son is named Grayson because of Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Which is a great first name too, by the way. Good job.
I lucked out because like I had this list of like names that I wanted, and I was like presenting it to my girlfriend. I'm like, all right, please, like some of these.
Please.
And she had Grayson on her list too. I was like, fuck yeah.
There you go.
It's like match in heaven.
It sounds like a wrestler. Grayson Ham.
Yeah, right. So he's gonna fuck some shit up.
Yep.
He already.
You already had it planned out, man.
Man, this guy's a character.
I got these trunks and these boots for you, Grayson. You want to try these on?
He's like, okay. He's probably all for it.
But the other ones I have is when Superman died, and when he came back to life, and then when all of all those different Supermans, I have all those issues.
That's the robot Superman, Superboy, and what's the one dude?
Steel, Man of Steel, Shaq.
And it was another
Shaq,
guy.
right?
Yeah, Shaqtus, Big Shaqtus. And
then there was the other one where he had the goggles with the black.
It was Armored Superman, but I don't know his name though.
The dude with the goggles is
his name is something.
Kind of a robot. He was made to kill Superman basically.
He was like the epitome of all Supermans. Yeah, because in one story in this current run, somebody sicked him on Superman, like go kill him. Because I remember he's like 1,000 Supermans in one story. Because I'm trying to think. He's like,
Watch is gonna come back to you at the most random time. You're gonna be like, that's his name.
His name is like the Incinerator or the something.
The funny thing is, when that was going on, there was this issue from Spawn where he was with Cerebus, and so when he was with Cerebus, they were in this like superhero limbo, and Spawn starts talking to fucking Superman. And this blew my mind as a kid. And I'm like, what? And then you see Superman go back and sit in the corner, and he's like this, and he's like, Doomsday. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, it was just so cool how they collided those worlds. Just a minute. And then I also have stuff from, and then I also have stuff from Valiant comics like Bloodshot and Ninjak. And,
I got Bloodshot comics. Oh my God. I'm the only person who fucked with Bloodshot. Let's go.
I have I think I have 1 through 15 or something like that. And then I have the crossover of Image and Valiant, the Death Watch. I have that full series.
I never read that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh yeah. I got them.
I got it.
See, you're luring us more and more to having an in-person interview with you.
Oh man, yep. We could set up a little jam session.
Last jam session.
Got any Sandman comics?
No, I wish. No,
it's the Eradicator. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it.
The Eradicator.
Yeah.
Eradicator Superman. I'm like,
look at Cornwallis over there pulling it up.
General with the information.
You're right. Oh shit, Jen. Yeah. So the other thing was I was showing her this stuff, and I found the first comic book that I ever got, and I forgot it was in there. and it's of a comic book company I never heard of, and it was called Super Cops, the dopest fucking cover like ever. And there was only 4 issues. I have number 1, but I know that they're on eBay, so I'm gonna buy the entire series, just 4 issues, right? Because I want to read them, because it was really really neat, the storyline and stuff like that.
That's always the first thing that draws me, is like if that cover just has that right aesthetic, I'm like, what's this about?
Right.
Must read you now.
Right. And the thing that really pisses me off is that I had a lot of Wolverine, I had X Factor, I had Excalibur, I had Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer.
I read those now.
I had all these great comic books, and I gave them to my brother because he appreciated them more than I did. And he had them in this trunk with all the rest of his stuff in his basement, and the basement flooded.
Oh,
and I'm talking Silver Surfer, and it was during the storyline of the fucking Gauntlet, man. The Gauntlet, the Infinity Gauntlet. It was like, oh my God, it was so upsetting. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Like, I mean, of course it hurt him too, but like, I gave you these, man. So
a part of my soul is in that box too.
Right. I'm drowning in here. So,
burn the house down.
I definitely was hurt. And so, of course, it's not purposeful, but I also collected this comic book company. They were called Malibu Comics. And they had this comic book character called Solitaire, and this was the dude.
Solitaire?
He was so freaking cool, man.
What do you look
like? He had what you call nanites in his body, so he'd get fucked up beyond belief, and then you'd see him slowly rise and fuck shit up. And he was, because his dad was like the head of the mob, and he was the prodigal son, but he almost died. And so he started fighting against his dad's organization. It was fucking dope.
Oh, man. I love the storyline already, just with that little.
Yeah, it was so good. And they would show whoever the artist was, they would show him do his moves, but they would do like shadow sketches behind all of his movements. So you could see his path of his physicality. It was so cool. Like watching Akuma go across the fucking screen. You could see like all the. It was so cool. I've never seen that. I've never seen that in a comic before. So I'm just like, oh my God, what is? And then they ended it with 12 books because the company went out of business. So,
he looks ill too. He looked like a
Let me check him. Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
That looks like something I would read for a fact.
Yeah, and it was really good. I was very, very pleased with that. And that
I can imagine those art styles just by looking at the character.
Oh yeah. And it was so good.
I see what you're talking about right here. I see directly what you're talking about.
Oh,
yeah. How cool is that for comic books back then? You're talking the 90s. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I like it.
Ah, man.
So apparently, I heard that Sony bought all the rights to Valiant Comics.
Is that so?
Really?
And so
are we gonna get some video games going with that?
No. I heard that they're going to be doing movies.
Really?
They got to make a X-Men War comic.
Oh God, yeah. Or Harbinger. Like, oh man, are you kidding me?
Take my money right now.
Well, I think that's who did Bloodshot. So.
Please give me. Oh my God, the Bloodshot movie.
They did. It's with what's his name? Vin Diesel. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't hear nothing about it though.
Yeah,
I don't know how good it did.
I don't feel like that's a true representation of what like.
Yeah, they could have got somebody else.
Bloodshot's
well, the only thing that I didn't like is because I'm a huge Vin Diesel fan, but Bloodshot, he was a member of the mafia.
Yeah.
So that's what I didn't like. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie though, so they could have changed the premise, like how they changed the premise for Punisher, which I love. That Punisher on fucking Netflix was dope.
Crazy good.
That was
so good.
Crazy good. I feel like that's one of the ones that was better than all the rest. Like that and Daredevil were the top for me for that.
Daredevil was awesome.
Daredevil was the shit.
That funny scene in the stairwell when he had the gun taped to his hand.
Dude.
And he was fucking all those dudes up in his
Bro. Literally.
He was wild.
Bro,
Wow.
Daredevil had just all the best fight scenes, period, through that whole little universe they had.
The first
That's
season
so
of
good.
Daredevil, season of Daredevil, when he goes to save that kid and they do that one shot slow cam down the hallway,
Bro,
he's going from room to room.
He's going fucking crazy.
Wow.
He's popping off the walls like UFC and shit. I'm like, yo, what is
Hey,
going
Vega.
on?
And I loved it. I especially loved it. That was when he still had his like rinky dink thrown together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was like, this shit
He was
is
going
going to be
stupid.
incredible.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad they canceled that.
I ain't gonna hold you. The Punisher was going stupid
Well-
in them series too.
The reason it was canceled is because of Disney Plus's invention.
Yeah.
So they got rid of all the ties to Netflix for their property because
So
Disney
they
owns
collect all
Marvel.
their IPs and stuff like that.
So
Well,
there,
the licensing.
so
Yeah,
there's a
the license.
possibility that they can redo all these shows again
gotta-
under Disney Plus.
They got to
So
use
they-
the same people because I seen a tweet that the dude was sad. He's like, oh man, we had storyboard for the next 4 seasons up on the wall, and
They better bring
They
them same
canceled it
people
all.
in there. Don't rock the boat.
So
That's what I'm saying.
I just read that they're going to most likely rehire the guy that plays Daredevil for Disney Plus.
I don't care about any of the other people because the guy that played Iron Fist was trash.
What about my son? Who played Luke Cage? He was pretty
I
good.
like Luke Cage
He
too.
was pretty good.
I see. I think
his villains is better.
I think that kid could have been good. I just think it was the writing. The writing was shit for Iron Fist. I think they were just trying to put it out there.
This what stood out to me that was just
The first one was trash.
that threw
the
me
second
off.
one was aight.
This is what threw me off. When you have your co-actress being more martial arts skilled than you are, and you're the fucking Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Which makes no damn sense. That's what I mean.
Yes,
The
threw
writing.
me off.
No, she clearly it was Colleen.
She's a true
Colleen,
martial artist, and you can
and
see
she got
that.
an ill story in Marvel too.
But
Well,
like,
yeah.
you can't have her. You can't sit her next to this guy, and he's like looking. He's not supposed to be the Iron Fist. He's supposed to be the epitome of martial arts
She
skill.
had the most style visualization and like it's oh my god, like
Well,
especially the sword.
they should have got somebody that had real training or
Real
something.
skill.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Threw me off.
they should got
I don't know what
Daredevil
they were
with the
thinking.
wig and contacts on
Him
him.
as him as Danny Rand and like being that character, I got it. It made sense. But like
Yeah.
when he shifted over to the martial arts scene, it just wasn't believable
You know
for
what
me.
was crazy to me though? It was just like it's supposed to be about him finding his, whatever destiny or his power he's blocked or whatever like that. But like she literally is doing more work than you, and it's like she seems like she's saving. It's like, come on,
She seemed like she was more important than
She
he
was
was.
more important than you.
Because she was the Iron Fist.
She was Iron.
The awkward moment that you realize he was the Iron Fist all
She
along.
was the Iron Fist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he could have been something special. I really loved the Luke Cage episode when they were together.
Yeah.
That was a
Mhm.
dope ass episode.
Crossover was really good.
I was
the
very
com-
happy with that. Yeah, exactly. Like
Mhm.
how it should be. Like in the
Yeah.
comics. Like
The
they do
dynamic
those
in the comic
crossovers
was
all
way
the
better.
time.
Was though.
So it's just it's hit or miss. But I can tell you, I was happy with it overall than disappointed.
What about
Jessica
the
Jones.
defenders overall? Like
That was okay.
That was
Yeah.
okay.
It was okay. Jessica Jones was dope.
Yeah, I like Jessica Jones.
I didn't see season 3 yet.
Me
I
either.
don't know why. I don't know why.
I love the Bushmaster in Luke Cage. I think
Oh, you did Bushmaster.
I think out of all the villains that we saw in the universes together, I love Bushmaster the most.
Cottonmouth was pretty cool. I liked him.
Cottonmouth was really good too.
He had
but
the best villains.
Yeah,
He-
I felt like
I don't know, man. I think the
But
Kingpin was pretty fucking dope, man.
Kingpin was
Yeah,
dope
Kingpin.
too. Kingpin
And
was
I
dope.
like the hand. I like the hand in the comics.
Damn.
The hand in the comics was good, but
The
that
hand in
old
the comics
lady,
always-
like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It was hard to say, but
Yeah, but
the,
in the actual Netflix though, I really liked who they had playing Bushmaster. Like it was everything he did was just so intentional,
He
so
was on
fucking
point,
believable. It was just like
yeah.
this dude's a threat. You got to watch out.
Yeah.
Like I really
No,
like,
they're talking about bringing making Ghost Rider his own show, and
Please do.
having Blade again.
Oh, that's
which,
who played Cottonmouth, right?
so right, yeah, I think so.
Marshall Ali.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah, yep.
But what about Michael J? Like Michael J. White would be dope as Blade.
He definitely
Hell yeah.
would.
Hell yeah.
Like
No,
that
and,
dude.
and he's actually a trained, skilled martial artist.
You know who be dope as Blade? Wesley Snipes.
Oh,
What? No, Wesley Snipes himself said that he was like, nah, he's all for whoever the next Blade is. Like he.
I tell you what, though, that first Blade was so good.
So good.
Like
People
that
don't give it enough
Blade.
credit. If that Blade run wasn't successful, there would be no Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's true. I like the second Blade.
He
The
kicked it
second
off.
Blade was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, second Blade
Blade was
wasn't
in the Blade
bad.
series. Did y'all know?
The
Yeah.
third Blade was.
It was funny though. I just loved seeing Triple H. I thought that was
He
hilarious.
pedigreed him through the concrete. I remember that.
Of course he did. You know, the other movie I liked a lot as a kid growing up, it came out in '89,
Mhm.
was the first Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, and that was fucking brutal. Like he was brutal to dudes, man, and some of the stuff they came up with. Yeah, some of the stuff that they came up with, how he killed people, was fucking awesome. Like when he hung this dude with this little tiny rope. Guy was just like, you know, one of the mafia guys. He was just walking around. All of a sudden, you see this little string coming out. You know, like this little shit, man. But it was believable. Like he was really.
He's a big, massive man too. So it's like,
yeah.
Ivan Drago.
Right, and the guy that's playing him now, who I really like, he's short. Like,
John Barenthal. Yeah.
Yes, he's a short man.
But he's intense.
Man.
He's intense though. Like,
he's great.
When he's on you, it's like, damn, this little, you gotta get this little motherfucker off.
So should he have been Wolverine instead? Should he have been Wolverine instead?
They're talking about
John Barenthal as Wolverine.
Yeah, he could do it.
I think he could do it. I think he could do it. I also like
Logan is one of the best Marvel movies of all time.
That actually was.
Yeah.
Logan was fucking ridiculous, and the way it should be, him chopping people's limbs off, like all that shit.
It was so visceral and just like.
Was the hotel
did you ever
scene.
read the comic of it?
Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
I've skimmed through a little bit of it.
That comic is nuts.
Yeah, it's a little after my time, but I really love the movie, the direction, everything about it was great. And they're talking about, I don't know if you guys have watched The Boys yet.
Yeah, I watched it.
I have not.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
Everyone keeps telling me that. They're like, watch that shit, bro. Watch it.
It is actually really hot.
It is crazy. So I'm not going to say anything else, but
I'm going to watch it.
You could talk
Me
about
too.
it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
it. Talk about, we can bubble them out. Go ahead. You go.
So, Caddy, the guy, I don't want to say his name, but the guy that acts as though he's the FBI agent at first.
Yeah. I know
they're talking about him
being the guy instead of the guy who's the same guy as the other guy.
Well, they're talking about him might be playing Wolverine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about some other stuff, but okay.
No,
okay.
The guy that was the guy that's hunting the main guy in The Boys.
No. I know what you're talking about, but I thought you were talking about another theory that they had. Like,
no.
What after this?
Oh, yeah, right. No, I didn't watch season 2 yet, but
no, I ain't watched season 2 yet. But it got to do. Well, have you ever read the comic book The Boys?
No,
okay.
I have not.
Wait, hold on. Wait, there's a comic?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I can't tell you about it because
I'm going to have to find a comic before I watch the show.
Okay, it's I know they're not going to do it based off of how the story went because, you know, they have their own cinematic universe or television universe.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's why I said certain things because, well, I can't tell you.
Yeah. Let's not get into it. Let's not get into it. But
but he was playing Wolverine. The dude was playing Wolverine. The guy
they're saying it's a possibility that he could be the next one.
Okay, I like him. He's very rugged. He kind of reminds me of Punisher at the same time as
right. But he kind of looks like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But can he yell?
He said, "But can he yell?"
Yeah.
Can he do the claw pop?
Does he have the right amount of chest veins when he yells?
He's a big
hair.
Yeah, he's got everything else down.
He said, "Chest vein game on point."
Yeah.
What does the cyborgs look like?
Mm-hmm.
They're there, and his hair is there too. Man.
He's checking all the boxes. Sideburns check, chest veins check, taco meat.
Taco meat. Oh shit!
I'm dead. Let me see you splash out of water with a bunch of cables. One time. Yeah! I like that.
Give this man the job.
Give that man the job.
Right.
Oh, man.
We don't have to look any further. Yeah.
Oh, this has been great, man. I think that's a great segue to wind it down. I honestly did not expect this to go all the different tangents it went. I'm so glad that it did. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You gotta be on again, man.
Yeah,
or you gotta be here.
certainly.
One of those, man.
Or you can do in off location.
Yeah,
let's go.
I'll bring the roadcaster and we'll set up and we'll do something.
Send the owl.
Yeah, dude. Because this was, I mean, I expected it to be fun, but this is like way more fun than I was anticipating. Like, this is a really good time.
I had a blast for sure.
If you'd like, you could take this moment to let anybody know about like your social medias if they want to check up on you and find anything that you have coming out. And we'll definitely still add that in all the descriptions of all the video and any of the episodes as well. So at this moment, go ahead, Matt, take them up.
So my website is www.matthewpike, Matthew with one T, MatthewPike.com. But my stage name is Pike Matthews. So that's what, that's what they'll see. So there's no confusion. I will be releasing my 5-song EP later this fall. And I've already began work on a full length that I'm going to release either late this year or early next year.
Lovely.
And also I am on a release from Jeff Barone. I do a few vocal tracks on his release that's coming out the 23rd. It's called Grim. And so I'll be on there. Check out jeffbarone.com, Jeff, GEOFFBARONE.com. And I think that's pretty much it. I also work with Joe from STEM, and we put out music for advertising. So that's one of the reasons why I went to
1 minute.
ASCAP. Yeah.
Nope.
Are you talking about?
He said that. No, we got. See, we gotta act now. That's got to be a to be continued.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about this off the air.
Yeah.
But
we gotta talk about it when we off the air and when we go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, but once again, everybody, thank you for following us. Thank you for continuing to watch us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to have both versions of this available for you on iTunes as well as pushstartmedianetwork.com. And then we're going to have the full video version on our YouTube channel at Push Start Media Network. So, Matt, thank you once again for being a part. We're definitely going to have a lot more going on in the future. And, best of wishes to you on everything you're doing endeavor-wise.
I appreciate you having me on. It's been an honor. I really did enjoy myself. And I'm looking forward to the off-site episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Once again, everybody, button pushers, we appreciate y'all. Thanks again.